What's good? What's good? I ain't about to wait for people to come in here. Man, fuck it. You see it when you see it. All right, so Wayne yesterday pled guilty to those gun charges that came up like about a month ago. Those gun charges pulled up. He in Florida. He brought the gun on the plane, federal crime, and because he's a multiple offender and he did this back in '09. I mean, he did his year and a day back in '09. He had that federal gun charge. So that happened again. And surprisingly, he pled guilty. So it's really nothing like his lawyer said. It's probably the best thing he could do. Now, the maximum sentence is 10 years. Do I think he's going to do 10? Nah. Yeah, he's going to serve some time. I don't think he's going to do 10 years, though. Now, at first it was like, okay, Trump could get him out of there. But Trump's last day in office is the 20th. Wayne's court hearing is like the 26th. So timing is kind of not in Wayne's favor right now. Timing isn't in his favor. As I do think Trump would have done it. You know, he endorsed Trump, took a lot of heat for it, but Trump isn't your typical president. You know what I mean? He's nothing presidential. He's a criminal himself to a certain degree. Half of his administration and his homeboys is doing time. So Trump's got a lot of friends that's in jail or in trouble or going to jail. Hell, Trump might be going to jail. And Trump's an entertainer. And he's always had a good relationship with hip hop and with rappers. So if it was up to Trump and it was in his power and the timing was different, I think Trump would do it. But nah, I don't think ultimately Wayne's gonna really do any hard time. It is what it is. You know what I mean? What's really surprising to me is the fact that he sold his masters. Now that is like, whoa, he sells his masters right before this? Like right after you plead guilty? Like is that so he could pay for his his attorneys and all of that? Because not that I know Wayne's business as far as his money, they say his net worth is like 150 mil, but it's like, nah, man, you don't. Prince always said never sell your masters. Michael Jackson said the same thing. Quincy Jones has been telling people that for years. You never sell your masters. That's really all you got as an artist is your masters, and he just gave it up for 100 mil. He sold it off to Universal. You know, I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? Now, Birdman, Baby says he's Mr. Universal. Birdman been dealing with Universal for like 20 years, 25 years. But Wayne just chucked it up and just gave it up to him. So all of that music Wayne got, outside of the mixtapes, the albums, the Carter 3s, the Carter 2, Carter 1, everything, Carter 4, all of that. He don't own none of that. And he's one of the most popular, notable artists, living legend, inspired half of this generation you hear currently, whether you like it or not, and he don't own anything. You know what I mean? It's really kind of discouraging and kind of sad. Like, damn, you know what I mean? Some of the biggest rappers in this, in this genre don't own nothing, don't own anything. You know what I mean? It's kind of like even Dave Chappelle was talking about that a few weeks ago. How his name on the Chappelle show the show is literally named after him, Chappelle Show, but he don't own it. It's a lot of black people who have put in a lot of work and they don't own everything because either they choose to sell their stuff or they signed a bad contract. And in Wayne's case, he just chalked it up. So a lot of people are kind of disappointed or either, curious to know, like, why would you do that? Now Wayne don't do too many interviews. He had this little podcast thing he was doing on Apple, but it's not really consistent. It's not like Drink Champs or like the Fat Joe's thing. Fat Joe's on Instagram Live every night, interviewing everybody. He had Flex on there yesterday. So, I mean, I don't know if Wayne is even going to make a public case for himself and say anything. He's just back to back. You plead guilty first, and then you sell your masters. Do I feel sorry for him? No, because, I mean, he already went to jail for this before. I can't feel sorry for a grown man for doing the same thing he went to jail for 10 years ago. You know what I mean? This is the same thing. So, I don't have any sympathy for Wayne as far as him getting jail time. Will he do 4 years? Yeah, I think 4 years is probably reasonable. He's 38. I can see him doing 4 years. Just because Jay-Z's smarter than most of these cats. I can say a lot of things about Jay-Z. And I always say I'm a fan of Jay-Z, the artist. I'm not really big on Sean Carter, the businessman, but Sean Carter is smart. He's not selling his masters. You can't even pull up. If you on Instagram, you can add music to certain stuff. You can't even add none of Jay's music on there. It's all wrapped up in title. Like you're not gonna get Jay's masters. You know, the smart ones who have the ability to control stuff, they don't let go of their masters. They don't do that. Ja Rule sold his masters like a couple months ago for 2 mil. You know what I mean? Now his masters was worth 2 mil. His music worth value. Wayne's was 100 mil. But you know, Ja probably did that because you know, bills is coming, pandemic, times is hard, and Ja had to do what he had to do. Just like when he was doing that crazy commercial for that Greek restaurant, you know, and now you performing in half empty arenas at basketball games at halftime. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's really serious, man. Black ownership is key. You gotta own stuff. So it just disappoints you when you see another notable black businessman, you know, once again cave in and flip it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when Dr. Dre sold Dre Beats to Apple. It was like, man, you got to keep that. People were saying Jay-Z sold Kanye's masters. Hell, Kanye got a lot of people stuff tied up too, man. Kanye be talking all that stuff, and he got a lot of people contracts that he need to let go too on good music, man. That's the game, bro. I was watching that New Edition movie. And you know, they had horrible contracts, and then Michael Bivins, when he brought in Boys to Men, instead of putting those young dudes on and showing them the right way, he screwed them over the same way they got screwed over. It's a game. These people don't care, man. Anything for the quick buck, man. But it looks like Wayne did that so he could, you know, take care of this case. Maybe he feels like he's gonna buy his way out of trouble, you know. But I'm like, still, is it really worth it? You know what I mean? Like, do your time, you know what I mean? You can't blame nobody but yourself. Nobody told you to get a gold-plated gun and bring it into the airport. This is like when Jewels was in the airport with a damn gun. Like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? Like, post 9/11, you gonna come in there with a gun? Like, nigga, you tripping. You bugging. But this is what it looks like. Wayne is doing this as desperation. So you should never make big choices when you're desperate, because a lot of times you regret it. I know I have. But it looks like he's trying to buy his way out of this situation. Because, I mean, that's just awkward that as soon as you plead guilty, later on the next day, you sell your masters. Like, come on, bro. Nah, but that would never happen to Jay-Z. Jay-Z would have to completely fall off. Yeah, smash that like button if y'all watching. You right. You right, my nigga. Definitely right. People don't want to cooperate, man. Big rappers' masters are like, stop. They're going to keep going up. Yeah. Because that's crazy. Like, Ja Rule's masters was only worth $2 million. Now, if Ja Rule would have sold his masters back in like 2002 when he was still hot, would have been a lot more money. But in 2020, you know, it is what it is. I think he was lucky he got that. Yeah, I know you're the only one who like. It's all right. When I post it up and it go up, it'll be different. It'll be different. Keep your shit all together. But I'm about to get out of here anyway because I got shit to do, man. I forgot about Keisha Cole and Ashanti. I'm trying to get hyped about that or trying to get interested in that, and I just really don't care. Other than what Ashanti looks like, I'm really not interested in that whatsoever. I'm not. But yeah, back to Wayne though, man. Oh shit. Get your shit, man. But yeah, I'm about to head out of here, man. Hit me up, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I'm out.